ceiling and keep them held high, cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up weekdays. Catch us live, somebody, let's go.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Pascal Show. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I hope you're all enjoying your day, enjoying this Tuesday. Man, it is the holiday week. It's going to be a crazy one for a lot of us. It's already a crazy one for me. It's been a crazy day yesterday. It's been absolutely insane. And the hits just keep on coming. I'm telling you. They just keep coming. I'm not going to lie. You know, we got a short show for you guys today. We're here for a good time, but not for a long time, unfortunately. But we got a lot to talk about. And I don't know if you guys hadn't seen the, I don't know this, I don't know. There's something on the, I don't know. Something's on my face. I don't know. Something's different about the screen here. Is there something on my face? I don't think so. Something's weird. Something strange about it. I don't know what it is, but it's something's different. Something's different today. Anyway, I got my boy David in the house. What's up, man? How you doing?
Man, I'm pretty good. Tired. Just keeping up on all the Arbery defense and prosecution since yesterday. So they're still going on with that. I mean, the rebuttals this morning, so still got more to watch, I guess.
Yes, there's a lot to, man, there was hours upon hours of stuff going on yesterday with as far as the closing arguments and all that. And there's more information about the driver, the person of interest that they have right now. I mean, it's just great. It's just insane right now. All the stuff that's going on right now is absolutely insane. But of course, before we get into all the conversations that we got going on, please hit that like button down below. Do not forget to hit that like button. All right. And of course, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So send those likes all the way up for all y'all who are starting to file in. I know the next couple days are going to be a little slow because everyone's starting to get ready for the holidays. Everyone's traveling. Everyone's getting their Thanksgiving on and all that stuff. If you are celebrating Thanksgiving, that is. So I know that a lot of people are going to be busy, but definitely hit that like button down below. Send those likes all the way up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It'd be great to have you a part of the Pascal Show family. Of course, we got that Patreon and we have our join button down below if you just want to contribute and help this show so that we can keep growing. Okay. We are very close to 50,000 subscribers. Very, very close. I'm excited. I'm super excited. I would love to see if that's something that could be possibly done before Christmas time. I think it's possible. But like I said, I'm very, very excited about getting to that landmark. It's been a long time coming. Let me just say that. Okay? Let me just say that. I just saw somebody say something, but I forgot. Oh, Emma, thank you so much. Love the tree. Thank you. Thank you. I do really appreciate it. Here it is, y'all. Let me just say this, because I know a lot of y'all are going to be like, yo, why you got this tree up already before? But, and Thanksgiving ain't even happened yet. Well, Thanksgiving happens this week. I know that I'm going to be crazy busy for the rest of this week with family and all that, doing all the holiday stuff. So I'm like, you know what? This is the time for me to do it. I got to just do it, right? And my fiance was very, very, shout out to my fiance. She did all this. I didn't do anything.
It looks good, I guess.
I just bought the decorations. Yo, she made that from scratch, yo. Really? She made that wreath from scratch. I'm not lying.
Nice.
She made that from scratch, yo. So shoot. She was just like, hey, I want to do this. I want to help out. I want to decorate your set. I was like, I really want to do something fun for the holidays. And she just jumped right into it. And I got to be honest, I love it. And I think it's going to be a thing from now on. So, hey, it's never too early to put up your Christmas tree. That's what I think. That's what I personally think. If you love Christmas, if you love the holidays like I do, I like seeing a Christmas tree. I mean, I got 3 Christmas trees in this house right now. Real talk. I'm not lying. I got a Christmas tree in my bedroom, y'all. Think about that. Well, we already talked about that. I think I said that one time before. You know what I mean? So I got three of them right now. You know what I mean? I love it. I love it. So my fiance is the bomb. She came through and she threw it down, y'all. So I'm just like, cool. Just just swipe the card. It's fine. It's fine. So anyway, so hopefully you guys enjoy the Christmas festive, the Festivus, whatever stuff. Okay. And yes. Yes. So yes, we were about 5 minutes late today, guys. So very, very sorry. Goth, inner Obi-Wan. Sorry for being so late, but we started about 5 minutes late because we were just trying to get things together for this morning show. But we got some things we got to talk about, and we're going to get into it here. Okay? So hit that like button, send those likes, all that stuff. That would really mean a lot. Please share this show. Please share as much as you can. Okay, we got to get into the conversation. Like I said, it's a short show. We're not going to be here for a long time, but we're going to be here for a good time and a very informative time. So we got to talk about this whole thing in Waukesha, Wisconsin. The victims still are at 40 people that are injured. And that age range goes from toddlers all the way up to the elderly. But we also still have 5 people that have been killed, that are victims from this crash, from this. I hate I don't even know what to call it. You can't really say plow. You know what I mean? You can't really say. You know what I mean? You can't really say plow. I don't like using that. But from this catastrophic event, all right. We got some footage, which is very interesting. We're going to look at a couple different things. And we got to talk about, thank you, Ash. Attack is good too. Attack is a good word. I'll take that, Ash. I'm going to take that and say I said it myself. That's a lie. I think the tree just makes me happy. You know what I'm saying? I'm just mad, but because I'm mad about all this stuff that we're talking about today. You know what I mean? I'm real heated, but I just keep looking over and I'm like, the tree. You know what I mean? I'm like
a common tree.
Curses, and I'm like, the tree. You know what I mean? But anyway, yes, vehicle rampage. That's interesting. Vehicle rampage. That sounds like a video game, right? But I'll take that one too.
It's Redneck Rampage.
Redneck Rampage, you said?
Yeah.
Isn't that the one where everybody they all get drunk in some mud place and they go mudding and stuff like that? Isn't that a huge event?
Weird. No, it's like a game, a video game.
That's a video game.
It's like a redneck series of video games, which is it's about as redneck as you can get if you've ever seen them.
I don't even know what to do. My bad. I see. I don't play video games. See, I'm not a gamer. See that right there? I thought there was that event that they all get together and they all dress up like, I guess, rednecks.
I know what you're talking about.
That was like and they get crazy. And like last year or the last time they did this event, a whole bunch of people died up in this piece.
Yeah.
Like, no talk. So yeah. Anyway, aside from that, we got to get back down to nitty-gritty and get serious here. Okay, Christmas tree. If I get mad, I'm just gonna go Christmas tree for the rest of the show today, because I'm gonna get heated here. Okay, because this is a bad one. In general, Darrell Brooks Jr. Obviously is in custody. He is the person of interest. There's a lot of different things that are going on right now, revolving around this individual. He has a track record that's unbelievable. Let's just say that. Unbelievable. The fact that he is a bail jumper, he is someone who has history of running people over as well. It's mind-blowing, this whole situation, okay? And I feel like there's certain things that could have been taken care of before that could have prevented this from happening. Prevented this guy from getting behind a wheel and driving down and driving over multiple people. All right. So here it is. We got a couple things, but let me just grab a few things here right quick. Now, there is some footage. There is some footage of him that is right after the vehicle rampage, or what was the other one? I forgot the other one that Ash just said. Why did I forget it?
I don't remember actually.
I totally forgot. I hate that. But anyway, right after he plowed through 40 plus people, he was found at a person's doorstep. No lie. This is it's the weirdest story. Let me show you guys this. Because I found this article on Daily Beast. I found it very weird. A sandwich? Like I'm still confused about the sandwich part. Video shows Waukesha parade suspect going for sandwich after chaos in Wisconsin. I'm still trying to wrap my mind around this, and we do have a video here as well. But let me read this and I'll throw it to you, David, before we show the video. So a video captured by a doorbell cam appears to show the suspect accused of driving through crowds at a holiday parade in Wisconsin, visiting a man's house for a sandwich after he allegedly killed 5 people. The clip was obtained by NBC News, and now it shows the suspect, 39-year-old Daryl Brooks, knocking on the front door of the resident Daniel Ryder at his home, a half mile from Waukesha Christmas parade route. So Brooks can be heard saying, "I called an Uber and I'm supposed to be waiting for it over here, but I don't know when it's coming. Can you call for me, please? I'm homeless," he says. Ryder told NBC News he was watching football when Brooks knocked on his door and was unaware of what happened near his home 20 minutes earlier. Ryder said he invited Brooks inside to give him a jacket and let him use his phone, and he also made the suspect a sandwich. All of a sudden, I look outside my street and I see a few cops drive by, and I'm getting extra nervous, said Ryder, who then asked Brooks to leave. The video ends with Brooks being apprehended by the police. So he came in. Daniel Ryder was, seems like he was just being a good Samaritan, good guy, did not know what the hell was going on, and said, "Hey man, come on in. Come on in. You don't have a jacket. It's cold outside." I don't know what the temp was like out there, but when you see the video, you could see he's like rubbing his arms and all that. Like, it's cold. He doesn't have anything with him. So Daniel Ryder is just trying to be a nice guy, was like, "Come on in. Let's get you fed. Let's get you a jacket." And then all of a sudden, 50 pulls up. You'll see the video here in a second. But I just find it very interesting that this guy goes over to this person's house of all houses. And then I keep wondering, what was Daryl? What was Brooks going to do? Was he going to do more damage in that house? Or was he just really trying to was he really just trying to get a phone so that he can get in contact with an Uber? By the way, one other thing is, though, don't you need a phone to get an Uber? Don't you need a phone to get an Uber? So if you're going to sit there, think about it. So if you sit there and you're saying, "Hey, can you call? I need to call my Uber. My Uber. I don't know if I don't know where it is, and it's not here yet. Can I use your phone? Because I just hit up a Uber." Instantly, you're going, "Wait a second. Uber is a phone app. Where's your phone?" Now, of course, phones die, right? But where's your phone, though? So you're bringing this guy in instantly. What's this guy up to? Is he going to go and carjack? Is he going to mess you up, take your belongings, maybe grab your phone, your car and your phone so he can drive off? We don't know. But this is a criminal. And he's out on the lam. And when you see the video, you can see for yourself, he doesn't seem like he's all the way there. You know what I'm saying? It seems like he's off. Seems like he's having a mental break. That's just my personal opinion, and it's quick. But David, what were you gonna say? Just so weird.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you kind of covered what I was going to say on this one, but I do think he probably picked the house because it was like decorated with lights on and stuff, so it probably stood out. He probably thought they would be more likely to give him a sandwich or something. But from what I can tell, he did not know this man beforehand, and it does just seem like he chose this place pretty much at random, just based on the outside appearance. It was a cold night, and obviously part of what he's doing here is he doesn't want to have his phone on him because they can find him, and he doesn't want to be in his vehicle because he just committed a crime in it. So I think he was just, I mean, like you said, you need a phone app for Uber, so he was probably just calling somebody else to come get him, and was just hiding and didn't want the guy to know about it. That's kind of the impression I get.
It's so strange. It's just strange, man. Like, who goes and, you know what I mean? Instantly, if I was Daniel Ryder and I was being good Samaritan and I'm going, okay, this guy looks like he's really, really cold. He looks uncomfortable. He's asking to call the Uber, all that, and you are willing to bring this man into your home. I give the Daniel Ryder some mad props. Like, he earned some brownie points. I'm gonna be real. He really did. Because he didn't need to do that. He could have just left that man outside. And that man could have just kept running down the street doing God knows what, right? He could have taken off. The police wouldn't have been able to obtain this man, right? That's the other question I have here in a second too. But they bring him in, they make him a sandwich. They're giving him a coat because he doesn't have anything. And then the cops show up. So the question I have is, who called 50? How did they know that he was going to be at that particular house? Did Daniel Ryder bring him in, say, hey, hold on, buddy, hold on. We'll get you a jacket. You want a sandwich too? And while they're making the sandwich, he's dialing 911 or somebody. He and his partner, whoever he's with, right?
Yeah.
Because he wasn't riding solo dolo in that house. He was with somebody, right? So just very interesting. But let's take a look at this video. It's a short one, but it's interesting enough.
Hey, I called an Uber and I'm supposed to be waiting for it over here, but I don't know when it's coming. Can you call it for me, please? I'm homeless.
There's that jacket.
I don't know. Yeah. Oh, yeah. My ID. Whoa. 26, 500 block of Elizabeth. 126. Hey, do you know this guy? Absolutely not. No. Okay.
Some wild stuff, right? It's crazy. So I don't know. Maybe they knew who he was. Maybe they didn't. Maybe the car was off on the driveway. I don't know. It's just so strange.
It's quite possible. I mean, a bunch of people were at that parade, and he's not too far away, so it's possible people actually saw him enter the house, or at least go down that neighborhood. Because there were, I don't know. I mean, it's still a confusing situation, but it does seem like it was a very populated area at the time of the incident, right before this.
I mean,
So,
but for him to be so nonchalant says a lot to me too. I'm not trying to justify anything. I'm not trying to say like, oh, this guy had a bad day or anything crazy like that. But it seems to me that he doesn't even know what he did. Or maybe he hasn't even had that compute in his mind. It seems like he's just off. That's just the vibe I got.
Just based on his record and the things he's done to children and other people, he's likely a sociopath. He's a serial abuser of people close to him. sold children, molested children. He's done a lot of things that, without any sign of remorse, that does suggest he's kind of a sociopath to the degree of crimes he's committed against people. And I do have a list of them if you want me to go over at some point. But
yeah, I mean, I know that he has a laundry list of crimes, and he's clearly not. He's clearly off, y'all. He's clearly mentally unstable. That's what I think. That doesn't justify anything. That doesn't justify what he's done at all. But you can see this. You can see in this video. Obviously, there's what's the word? There's hastiness, right? There's a level of like him trying to get inside, but that could, or trying to get warm of some sort. But I think it's just because of him getting warm, right? But at the same time, like, this guy clearly is not computing what he's done. And that's sad. Now, there are other videos out here where he talks about, I mean, David's going to say the list. Okay. I say this, David, you got to censor the hell out of it, unfortunately, because I know there's a lot of trafficking.
There's a lot of bad stuff.
There's a lot of trafficking in there. There's a lot of SA type of stuff in there. And so we have to be very, very sensitive about how we say these things on this show. But clearly this man is not off. I mean, sorry, not collected,
right. Yeah.
Not right. That's what I meant. Clearly this man is off, but that does not justify the things that he's done at all. This is terrible. And the fact that the cops show up, right? And he's going, whoa, 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 like he's surprised. You know what I'm saying? Like he's surprised that there's cops there. Whoa, 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 whoa. No, if you know what you've done, right? You put your hands up, you don't say nothing, you just you comply, you get arrested, and you face the issue you're dealing with, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this guy seems like he was surprised that the cops showed up. It's so weird. So weird.
You could still just be faking to kind of try to keep the cops off guard too. You never know. I mean, if he is a sociopath, that is pretty typical of their behavior, is to try and manipulate others through specific responses like that. And I mean, like, we don't have a diagnosis, but just based on the things he's done to people, I would assume he's a sociopath. I don't know how else he would do those things.
Or just really, really hard drugs.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
Yeah.
Or he could just be an ass. I mean, that's straight up what it could be too. Just a legitimate ass that just wanted to hurt a whole lot of people just for the hell of it.
Mm-hmm.
So you got three choices here. Because this was not an accident.
No.
That was not oops, I ran over 40 people, my bad. Whoopsie. No. By the way, just so you guys know, because yesterday, I said on the show, I said, hey, he was fleeing from a scene. And in my mind, I instantly think, if you're fleeing from a scene like that, with that much in a hurried type fashion, right? Somebody must be chasing you, right? Well, guess what? No one was chasing him. No one was chasing him. He was just fleeing down the road to flee.
And there were a lot of claims initially that he was fleeing police officers. I looked into this some, and Debate Me channel also looked into this some. We weren't able to find anything to kind of like confirm that. There was no sign of the police. None of the witnesses that we talked about had mentioned the police. Witnesses that were at the scene. If you look at you can see about 100, 200 feet behind the vehicle before the incident happens, and there's none there either. There is a report of an officer firing on the vehicle, shooting at the person. However, witnesses, they didn't say it explicitly, but they suggested he was on foot with them, with them at the parade. And of course, every parade I've been to does have officers there to kind of corral traffic and everything. So I think that's where, as far as I've read, that's the only police officer that engaged him during the entire incident. Was that one that was already there at the parade with his gun.
Yeah. And here's the other thing. We still don't know the motive, if there was a motive. I really don't think that there was a motive. I think this was just a senseless type of bottled act of violence and mayhem. But he has not spoken, like he has not said anything yet. But of course, everybody and their mama is scouring the social medias and finding everything they can to try to tailor this in some specific way. And yes, he does have a lot of stuff out there that's very anti-Trump or anti-cop or anything of those sorts. But there are plenty of people that are anti-Trump and anti-cop, or pro-BLM, let's just say, that wouldn't go and drive and try to plow down a whole bunch of people, right? So it can't automatically mean that, oh, that's the message. I don't think that there was any message in this particular situation. But like I said, we can only know what we know from the facts that they've given us so far. The only thing we can do is wait and see what this guy has to say and see if there is an actual motive. But I'm saying right now, in my personal opinion, there is no motive. This was just him causing a whole lot of chaos for the sake of causing a whole lot of chaos. That's what I think.
And this does seem to be, like I said, I'm going to get into his behavior now, but this does seem to be consistent with what he's done in the past. He's got a long history. This is going to be a little out of order because I pulled from about 12 different news sources, but I picked the main parts from each one so that it's relatively short. But basically, one of the things that was found fairly early on is that there is a video of him, and you can still find this one out there, admitting to charges of trafficking children, of doing all of that. And
I mean, he straight up says it in a man.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't want to play it, but I might have to try to find it because I saw it with my own two eyes yesterday, and I was like, he says a whole bunch of stuff in here, but I can't play it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's in one of these articles, but I have a lot open right now. I'll look for it after I get through this.
No worries. He just openly admits to racketeering, trafficking. I mean,
and he's a registered offender in Nevada, under tier 2 offender, which means it was a child. He was living in Reno at the time, and I am reading this a little slow because I can't say a lot of the words in here. But like you said, there's that 30-second clip where he explained it. He also talks about when his 16-year-old baby mama, he was an adult at the time, that he had a baby with, and police intervened in that case, and they said that he was acting as a pimp to the girl, and that he wasn't just in a relationship with her. But the police were never able to fully verify that one. He was also arrested on November 2nd. This was his last arrest for domestic violence charges after trying to run over his ex in that same SUV, who was the mother of his child. He tried to do that at a gas station, and that's what the $1,000 bond was for. He also, like you said, he sold children. He also, not just the 16-year-old that we mentioned, but he had other molestations of these girls, very violent and brutal. And he gets the P word that we also can't say, but that's exactly what he is. One of the people that describe it say that 10 years ago in 2006, I got a case for my oldest daughter's mama. Yes, my baby mama. And this is what he is saying. This is what Burke is saying when he refers to the girl. He also seems to have a history of, like Pascal said, he has a history of being anti-Trump and anti-police with his lyrics. But like that part's not really too unusual. But he has a history of these strange posts that are racially charged. one more thing I want to get to first is that he did have a woman, or sorry, he did have a child with a woman, and that woman told the Journal Sentinel that he was not directly involved in their life. So he does have various baby mamas. Most of them seem to be trying to avoid this case right now, other than the one that he tried to run it over. That woman said, "I have no idea what makes him tick, why he would do something so stupid and tragic, and why he would hurt those babies and those kids." But like I said, this is he's had cases since 2000, mostly along these lines of abusing children, abusing his loved ones, and selling children. And on top of that, he has had a series of posts. Debate Me talks about this a little bit, but already all of his Facebook and YouTube channels have been pulled. So most of the, unfortunately. So most of this information that I have is from screenshots right before it was pulled. However, a lot of the information is gone now. But on there, he did have a image of a video of a young girl arguing with her parents for being conservatives. Underneath that, he wrote "learned and taught behavior." He also wrote, "So when we start back," it's written weird, so it's hard to read. "So when we start back knocking white people the F out, I don't want to hear it. The old white people too knocked them the F out." And he allegedly shared a meme showing an all-white crowd with an officer with a text overlay saying, "Repeat after me. I thought he had a gun. He had reached for his waistband. I feared for my life. These 3 phrases will ensure you can kill anyone you want." He also had a, let's see, what's this? So there were other ones. Allegedly, this was from his Instagram one. I have not seen this though. But he had a post on Instagram allegedly called basically using racist names against white people. And that is the most I've been able to confirm from the social media. There's a lot more rumors out there, but there's not necessarily photos to confirm this. So a lot of that information is hard to parse through. This information, however, there are screenshots for. I've been able to verify that part of these. A lot of the other information I'm not going to repeat because I haven't been able to verify it, and it can be incendiary and probably untrue for most of it. What I have said is what I do, as far as I can tell, is true and accurate to the records we have. Unfortunately, like I said, all of the social media is now removed, so we can't really prove that anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, there's only so much that we can. There's only so. I got a feather on my shoulder. There's only so much that we can gather, right? There's only so much that we can gather from this situation, because of course we're not hearing from the horse's mouth himself. We're just getting it from all the social media sleuths, all the digital detectives out here that are just doing their due diligence, finding everything they can to either, for whatever reason, just to get a better understanding who this person is, or to fit their own rhetoric that they're putting out on their social media platforms as well. Now, that's what I've been seeing a lot too. People just trying to find anything just to say, "Oh, he was this, this, and this." And it's like, wait a second. Let's find out. Let's hear what law enforcement says about this particular individual before we totally go down one route, right? To me, this is a full-on attack. But I do think that this is fully an independent situation. I don't think that there was any message behind this, to be really honest. I think this is just somebody being crazy. I hate using the word crazy, but I think this is just some piece of trash out here.
Expecting
What?
someone else?
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Ho ho no, it's the holidays, and we
Ho, ho,
are
no.
all about it. However you jingle, we got your
What?
jammies. Eggnog, egg roll,
Oh,
you
what?
do you, boo.
Yeah,
Lovely weather for golf.
Thank you, Kiki Palmer.
But
do you, boo boo? It is holiday season, though. Christmas tree.
so what we have seen though is that on his previous spells, he's pretty much repeated his crimes immediately on getting out. So this isn't unusual that he immediately engages in another crime right after getting out. He did that in 2016 and 2004 and 2000. I forgot the third one, but he's done it 3 times.
But it's so crazy to me that it's the same thing that he did. Like now here's the other thing I want to point out too, real quick, okay? because I got this from Inside Edition. This, not saying that they're an incredibly credible source, but this is, and you were just talking about this one piece. He was bailed out for $1,000, right? But just a little bit more information here. Just 2 days before what happened on Sunday, right? He was released on $1,000 bail, okay, for allegedly deliberately running over the mother of his child, so his own baby mama, at a gas station. So he already has a history of trying to run people over. And this was his BM. This was his baby mama. Okay. So in my mind, if he's willing to run over his baby mama, he's willing to run over anybody. So there is no motive. I think it's just carnage for the sake of carnage. It is the violence for the sake of violence. It's him just wanting to see red, him just wanting to cause chaos. There is, in my mind, if I look at just that alone, 2 days before he was behind the wheel of a car and ran over his baby mama, one of the mothers of his children, at a gas station. So.
And somebody's asking what the judge was thinking. Well, he's under investigation right now, so they're going to try to figure out what he was thinking and why he let this man go, because the state is saying he should not have been let go. And I think everyone else agrees.
Yeah. I mean, so in my mind, I don't instantly resort to, he has a message about Kyle Rittenhouse. Tail to the gnaw. This is literally him just making carnage for the sake of carnage. His car was an equal opportunist in my mind. It sees no color but red. That's literally what I think what was going on there. Period. If you're willing to run over your baby mama, and then seconds later you're running over a whole bunch of people, you don't care about the race. You just want to cause death for the sake of death. Go ahead, David.
And for his Facebook, at the very least, I did not see any images of the other sources before they were pulled. But for Facebook, he pretty much did not have anything about Kyle Rittenhouse at all, really. So he wasn't on that one individual source of social media he had. He did have others. He was not talking about Kyle Rittenhouse whatsoever. So I don't necessarily think it's a response to that. This guy is just hateful in general. He's kind of an evil person, and it's not surprising that if he hates somebody in particular, he'll kill them as well. I mean, he killed a lot. Well, I mean, he killed a lot of people, and he's hurt a lot more people even before this incident. So he does seem like an evil individual. He does have. He clearly stated his hatred for white people in general, but I mean, he's also declared his hatred. I mean, he's abused his own family. He's molested his own family. He's tried to sell people. This is just an evil guy. He doesn't really seem to have any particular morals. I do think he is a sociopath, and he'll just sociopaths use anything to kill people. And this is just one form of those excuses to try and justify it, I think.
Yeah, I do think that, some people just want to see chaos and they don't care who it is, right?
Oh,
some people.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
And I was going to say he also has a lot of negative things about women in particular as well that he has said in the past, just calling them.
Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, what else is new? Yeah. I mean, you could basically say like he drowns puppies, and we'd be like, word. Like we wouldn't even be surprised at this point. You see what I'm saying? He drowns little puppies. We'd be like, okay, word. Are we expecting otherwise at this point? This man is a psychopath. Clearly, this man is a psychopath. I'll say it. I don't give a damn. And it pisses me off. It pisses me off because this whole situation, 40 plus people should still be on this planet enjoying their holiday season right now. That's what should be happening. See, now I'm getting mad. Christmas tree. But we do have a question here, or a statement that I've been having up here for a while. Lady Justice, thank you so much for the comment on YouTube. Why do they keep allowing a repeat offender out on jail and jumping bail? Bail should have been revoked. Hold his ass in jail. Now, let me say this, wiggity word to that. First off, that's the reason why I said it in yesterday's show. He was found, or he was getting charged for felony jumping bail. He has done it before. He has jumped bail. So why would they let him out again, especially after he did something as crazy as running over his baby mama with his car? The mother of one of his children, he ran her over, allegedly, with his own ride. Explain that. Then suddenly the judge is like, okay, $1,000 bail. What? $10,000 probably. It was probably $10,000. But real talk, a bail of $10,000, you don't think he can scoop up $1,000 real quick to get the hell out? You don't think he got his friends and his boys, his crew, whatever, that could just scoop up a couple $100 together and pull it together and get him and bail him out with the quickness? I'm just saying. So that doesn't make any sense. When somebody's going out there and they're doing crimes like as such, and they already have a history of other things, they should be looking at their history. They should be looking at their rap sheet. The rap sheet says everything. And if he's known for jumping bail, why was he given bail after the fact? Especially after doing something so heinous on one individual. That's one person that he intimately knew. And he still got out on $10,000 bail, paying $1,000. If they just said, "Nah, man, you sitting right there, you sitting pretty until your court date or whatever," this situation would not have happened either. Now I see this, this can be messed up because there's a lot of men out here. There's a lot of men and women that are thrown behind prison, thrown behind in a cage for just parking tickets, for crying out loud. Parking tickets, right? But in this case, I would be looking at the situation, what the crime is, and how violent the person has been before. If he has a history of violence, you don't think he's going to go out and do more violence? Let me just repeat this one more time. He ran over his baby mama. So he has no regard for anyone's safety, even the people that are close and near and dear to him. Clearly, something's not right. So you add that, on top of that, he's known for jumping bail. Man, you should have cut the bail. Period. This is a violent person. This dude's going to be out here and be a menace to society. Surprise, spoiler alert, it happened. I don't get why he didn't get I just don't get it. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, and that's the thing. I don't care about the race in this situation. This man is a violent individual. It doesn't matter. This man is terrible. Terrible. And he should not have been behind the wheel of a car driving over people. In fact, you got to remember, he was fleeing from a stabbing. He was fleeing from another violent act. Now, whether he was the one stabbing or he was one that was getting stabbed at, we don't know. But all we know is that he was a part of some other violent act, and then he went off and caused more violence. That's it. That's all I have to say. He had a very busy afternoon. That's all. But like I said, we're going to still wait. We got to still wait to see what they say to us. We're all going to sit here wondering what's going on. But I will not sit here and say that, oh, this is a message to the Kyle Rittenhouse's results and verdicts and all that. I don't think that at all. I really don't think that. I really don't think that at all. I really think that this has everything to do with a guy who was already just a violent human being and had no care for anyone. If you're going to traffic, racketeering, SAing young women and the sort, pimping children out and all that stuff, this is somebody who He had ill regard for anyone's well-being, period. Tyler Hackner, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. There are people that just shouldn't be part of society. This guy is one of them. Absolutely. 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 You have anything you want to say, Devin?
I mean, not really. You pretty much said it all. This guy is just
All right.
evil and crazy. I mean,
Christmas tree.
Yeah, Christmas tree.
Woo! Okay.
Well, I guess one thing I do want to say is that this is normally this kind of incident with a guy like this who immediately commits the same crime after being put out on bail. Normally, you would see like them bump up the bail to 100,000 or $1 million. This is kind of what you see with people that are likely to run away or anything like that, or if they're likely to commit the crime again immediately after. So the $1,000 bail combined with his bail jumping and his propensity to commit the same crime that he's on probation for, it doesn't make sense that the bail is only 1,000. If you look at normal cases like this, it typically is 100,000 or higher if they think that person is at risk of recommitting the crime in that duration.
Wait, say that one more time for me.
I don't remember what I said now.
Oh, you just lost it? You just lost that that quote you just said.
What was I talking about?
That was hella fast.
We go back. I don't remember what I said.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I was hoping to echo off what you said. No, but anyway. Yes. So right now what we have is that he is I do have another video that I want to show you guys as well. And then of course we're going to move on to the next piece, but clearly they're talking about there's some more updates that happened yesterday, just talking about what he's getting charged with, and just some more updates of what's been happening with this person of interest or this suspect. So let's take a look at this. It says suspect charged with 5 counts of intentional homicide in the Waukesha parade incident. Let's take a look at this.
On Sunday, November 21st, 2021, a lone subject intentionally drove his maroon SUV through barricades into a crowd of people that was celebrating the Waukesha Christmas parade, which resulted in killing 5 individuals and injuring 48 additional individuals. I just received information that 2 of the 48 are children and they're in critical condition. We have information that the suspect prior to the incident was involved in a domestic disturbance, which was just minutes prior, and the suspect left that scene just prior to our arrival to that domestic disturbance. When the suspect was driving through into the crowd, one officer did discharge his firearm and fired shots at the suspect to stop the threat, but due to the amount of people, had to stop and fire did not fire any other additional shots. The officer is on administrative leave as part of the department protocol. No one was injured as a result of the officer firing his discharging his firearm. The subject was taken into custody a short distance from the scene, and we are confident he acted alone. There's no evidence that this is a terrorist incident. Due to the wind yesterday, there was a power outage downtown Waukesha to further complicate our emergency response. I want to identify the victims that we know of at this time. And I say this with great sorrow. Virginia Sorensen, 79-year-old female. Leanna Owens, 71-year-old female. Tamara Durand, 52-year-old female. Jane Kulich,
Wow,
52-year-old female. Wilhelm Hospital, 81-year-old male. The suspect involved in this tragic incident is identified as Daryl E. Brooks, male, 39 years of age, who is a resident of the city of Milwaukee. At this time, the Waukesha Police Department is referring 5 counts of first-degree intentional homicide with additional charges based on the investigation. But those will come in time. There are many roads in downtown area were closed as investigators worked through the crime scene. Those roads have since been opened. I'll say this, minutes after the incident occurred, I responded to the scene, and what I saw out of chaos and tragedy was heroes. First responders and the community coming together and working together on triaging victims, the fire department working in partnership with the fire department, getting these victims to the hospital. Fire department transported multiple victims. Chief Howard will talk about that. Officers picked up victims and put them in a squad and rushed them to the hospital. And citizens also picked up victims and rushed them to the hospital. There's also off-duty law enforcement, fire, and EMS personnel that were attending this event who immediately got involved and took part in saving lives.
Thanks for watching our YouTube.
You know, to hear the names, just really makes it more real, right?
And I sent a Daily Mail article with most of their pictures.
Thank you. I'll pull it up here in a second. But like I said, it's to hear their names, it's much more visceral, right? It hits home even more. Thankfully, at least thankfully so far, none of them have been children as of yet, as far as the victims, as far as the deaths that have happened, the fatalities. And I'm very thankful for that. But there are some kids that are in critical condition right now, that we're still waiting to find out if they're going to pull through. And I hope to God that they do. I really hope to God that they do. Let me pull up their faces and all that.
And that article also shows the judge who freed him, or who set the bell solo at the very bottom, in addition to his arrest record. So this one's got quite a few good images in it.
Wait. So the first one is the victims, right?
So go to the Daily Mail one, and if you scroll down just past his criminal record, you'll see the pictures of all the women, the 4 of the women.
Gotcha. Man. Let me see here. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah, like I said, I mean, just hearing their names, but of course, seeing their faces is going to be something else too. But here are some of the victims here, right here. We have Virginia Sorensen, 79. I guess she was part of the Dancing Grannies.
Yeah.
This is also Jane Kulick. They don't say her age here, but she was part of the Dancing Grannies. There's the photo of him driving through. So crazy. And some the infamous YouTube video. You know, one thing I want to say is, if you out here and have like crazy criminal history, right? A rap sheet that involves all the things that we listed, right? Racketeering, trafficking, you name it, all those things. Why would you want to start your own rap career? I don't get it. When you do, oh man, that's the only pictures. Oh, here we go.
No, yeah, that's the woman on the left, the judge. She's the one that set the $1,000 bail.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, she got a lot of explaining to do, I'm sure.
Yeah. It's under investigation.
Oh, wait, obviously it is now. But those are only two faces. Are there any more faces of the victims?
That's all they've released so far that I've seen anyway.
Okay. So that's what we have so far. But yeah, this is just terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. As you can see, out of the various mugshots he has, he's been in and out of jail for forever. And like I said, I mean, if you got somebody who has a history of violence, a history like this, at some point you have to go, he's jumping bail. He's done this, this, and this. He ran over somebody with his car. Maybe we should just not grant him bail this time. And then let him do what he needs to do behind prison, in a prison cell, and let him fight this out in court so that he can be, because, God knows what he was probably facing with the charges that he was facing for running over his BM, his baby mama. Ran over his baby mama. Just like I said, I'm not rolling with this one too much. I just.
And in that article, if you scroll down more, they're all censored. So to find a show, you can see the people on the street beforehand and afterward. You can see how many children are there. You can see all the gatherings and everything, and it's all censored. So I think it would give people a good idea of what was going on there. Because it was mostly just a lot of young girls with pom-poms, some older women dressed up for their dancing thing. This is kind of what the event looked like.
I need to try to see it first. Yeah, it's all censored for the most part. It's just, have mercy. Okay, let me, it's chaos, absolute chaos. Yeah, I'll show this really quick. Then we got to go into the Ahmaud Arbery stuff.
All right.
We gotta work. But on the left, girls, pom pom dance team. I don't know what the name of this group was, but on the right, after the aftermath, the chaos, right? Then obviously this is all the chaos that's going on. All these people are down on the ground. I mean, you just see people huddling over these particular victims, trying to either revive them or to just be there for them. I mean, this is insane. All these people plowed over.
12 children were hit, at least.
12 children. Yeah, 12 children were admitted into the hospital. So hopefully everything is okay. But there was one particular person that gave their account, recanted their experience being there, saying that, and I read this in an article when it broke on Sunday, but they basically said that that person was holding a little girl's head in his hands, and she was seizing, and blood was pouring out of her ears. So, I mean, and that's just one account, right, on one small victim. God knows what happened with the other 11 kids, right, that were hit. It's insane. And like I said, the car is just barreling down the road during this festival, during this parade. It just, man, I hope they bury him in the prison. Let's bury him under that damn prison. Real talk. Because nobody deserved that kind of stuff. Nobody deserved that. It's a heart-wrenching thing. But Christmas tree. Because we're moving on into another story, into another conversation. Because right now, as we know, they are wrapping up the Ahmaud Arbery trial right now. If you don't know about Ahmaud Arbery, he was the black runner that was basically tracked down by a bunch of white men and was gunned down.
And I did watch the whole testimony.
Yes, and he was gunned down in point blank range by shotguns because he ran through a construction site of a house that was also open for viewing because people were going there to view this house. And these men thought to themselves, it was about time to take matters into their own hands. They ran after this. They drove after this young man. And this young man had to defend himself because they were going after him. He ends up dying right there on the ground with no weapons, nothing except his bare hands and his feet. Oh, we got something to talk about this feet thing, but we're going to go into that in here in a second. So they are doing this. There's been this long trial going on. There are 11 jurors, 1 black juror. Let me just say that again. 11 white jurors, 1 black juror. There have been so many situations that have been going down recently inside that court, like the defense saying, we don't want to see any black pastors in the courtroom. No black representation basically whatsoever in the courtroom. They had a problem with that, right? So much that they said, hey, we don't want to see people like Jesse Jackson in the house and all that stuff. We don't need to see him inside the court, which was really funny because Jesse Jackson wasn't in there. He wasn't even in the room. But then because they said that, guess what? The very next day, Jesse Jackson flies, gets over there, and shows up. He shows up and shows out. So then, because they had a problem with black pastors being in the court, guess what? Whole bunch of black pastors show up in solidarity this past Thursday for Ahmaud Arbery. So, I digress. Let's continue on. Now we are in the place where defense and prosecution are making their closing statements. All right. And it's been long. It's been long. It's been a long, arduous couple weeks with them doing their closing arguments. Now, we're going to show you guys some of the closing argument clips because there's one in particular that just really makes me angry. Christmas tree. So we're going to show it to you guys here in a second. I know David's been watching this very, very closely as well. So I'm going to throw it over to him. But the amount of racism that is happening inside of this courtroom is astounding. The fact that this is okay. The fact that this is, I can't even believe that it's even okay. But I'm not going to go on my soapbox right now. I'm going to throw over to David. We do have some clips to look at. So let's go. David, speak on it, bro.
All right. So basically, you've covered the setup for everything.
Bullets, broad strokes.
Yeah. So the prosecutor, she came out really hot yesterday. I think she's doing a great job so far. The majority of her arguments focused on specifically that he has a right to be there, and basically the idea that he was being harassed, and so he had the right to defend himself in that instant. So basically what she describes is we see Arbery, for the first incident, is basically just sitting down fishing at a location when they all three come up in their trucks with guns and confront him for the first time. They continue to confront him multiple times over the next 4 days, always in trucks and always with guns. And they repeatedly did this. They never called the police during the incident that happened.
Mm-hmm.
And they also had basically part of their false imprisonment is because they were chasing him with trucks at some point, blocking his path away.
Oh, by the way, sorry, let me add this in here. Sorry, because it's very exciting to know that there is proof that they were actually physically trying to ram him off the road with their trucks. Just want to add that in there too. Sorry.
Yeah, and so basically the gist of her core argument is that as U.S. citizens, we are allowed to basically be anywhere, and that includes being on that street. That includes buildings that are open and do not have trespassing signs and are not properly barricaded off or anything. But for the most part, what is really happening here is that she's just basically describing their constant harassment of him over multiple days while they drive around and keep attacking him without any evidence, but just more and more suspicion. And she also points out that pretty much every witness that is defending the McMichaels is part of their family or friend group. And so that their statement should be held questionable by the jury because they are all directly tied and directly friendly with the McMichaels. She also goes on to describe how they mention, she doesn't explicitly say anything about race, but she does describe how they view his looks and how they see him and think he's crazy just because of the way he looks, or thinks he's dangerous just because of how he looks as a person. And the incident that led up directly to the shooting, basically Travis was claiming that Arbery was fighting a truck, an empty truck, and that's why he had to show up and cut him off like that. The defense came in mostly with a very, very, very long story. It was about 3.5 hours, trying to justify the McMichaels, saying that events over the past year had made them paranoid and afraid of actions in the street. And that paranoia, he didn't call it paranoia, but that's what he's describing, was part of why they decided to consistently harass Arbery. Ultimately, the main part came down to, and this was for the murder part, the main part came down to the fact that they did not have to defend themselves against Arbery. They chose to get out of their vehicle. They chose to stand there. And initially, Travis aimed his shotgun at Arbery before Arbery was even close, which is illegal from the beginning because he was not providing a threat to them. He started running after that point and seemed to be trying to get away. But Travis moved out to block him, and then the other guy moved out to block him. And they both basically aimed their guns. And so at that point, he decided to fight for his life. And they shot him. And the defense basically says they did this because they thought he was stealing things. They were afraid of all the crimes that had been going on. They were paranoid that he might have been burglarizing these houses, even though nothing was reported stolen from this particular one. And that was their defense for the murder part. I know the one you want to show is from the second part of the defense. Which was the woman, because the first guy that handled the defense kind of looks like McConnell. Yeah.
Yeah, and don't say what she said. Don't even say it. We're gonna let her say it. But continue. I'm sorry. Just don't say it. But go ahead.
Yeah. I think she came in because the first guy he kind of looks like McConnell. He's a little flaccid in the face and not very strong of character, not very emotional. I think they brought her in to try and create that emotional appeal. And I think that's why she tried to do things the way she did, and
my God. Okay.
It didn't work, but we'll see it.
How does it work? It
didn't.
No. I'm saying no. I agree. No. I was saying like another, like not with going after what you said. I agree. It doesn't work, but how does that work? How does one think that? Let me just play the freaking clip. And I'm playing a fuller clip because there's a little clip out there, right? That's only like the first, the quote about feet, man. Talking about feet. Okay. Son of a. Okay, let's take a look at this clip. This is just bullshit. Sorry. Sometimes you just gotta curse.
He can end up creeping into a home that is not his own and running away instead of facing the consequences, acting erratically when approached, and making terrible, unexpected, illogical choices. But a mother's love doesn't fade from that beautiful boy in the ball cap to the young intruder. And sadly, no verdict can change the grief of that future not realized. The hope that he could have turned himself around. Because all we can guess about the young man is that his teenage years were full of promise, but his early 20s just led him in the wrong direction. The facts presented in this trial bear no resemblance to the story that the state told you in opening statement. A 25-year-old who met a brutal death after being chased and killed by residents of a neighborhood who wanted nothing more than to murder him for having the audacity to jog in their neighborhood. Not a single piece of evidence that's been presented to you in this entire trial supports such a hateful and gruesome set of circumstances. Turning Ahmaud Arbery into a victim after the choices that he made does not reflect the reality of what brought Ahmaud Arbery to Satilla Shores in his khaki shorts with no socks to cover his long, dirty toenails.
Y'all heard that, right? I'm going to roll back just a tiny bit. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but let me play the rest a little bit more after this really quick, just so you can hear her thought. But I'm going to roll that back because I want to make sure everybody in the know, even in the ones in the nosebleed seats, can hear this ish.
There were two sets of decision makers on February 23rd. It is not just the McMichaels decisions that led to this tragedy. And it is a tragedy. I see it in your faces, and I have felt it in mine. Into a victim.
Listen to the words that are coming out of her mouth right here. Shores. She talks about his feet. I don't know. Maybe she has a thing for feet. I don't know what it is, but we're going to talk about it here. But one last time, listen to what she's saying. Listen to what she's saying.
After the choices that he made does not reflect the reality of what brought Ahmaud Arbery to Satilla Shores in his khaki shorts with no socks to cover his long, dirty toenails.
So you hear the wow in the background? Because in my mind, I can't even believe that somebody would sit here and say that. What does that piece of information have to do? Christmas tree. But what does this have to do with anything? What does this have to do with anything in her closing arguments? Nothing, I'll tell you. Nothing. She basically is trying to call him. Basically, she is trying to break him down like he's a damn animal. Mm-hmm. That's it. Welcome to our world. This is but this is the tone that has been set inside of that court since day one. Ever since when the court decided to do their jury selection and have majority white jurors with only one black juror in the jury selection, when the freaking defense has an issue, by the way, same defense lawyers, same corner, by the way, that's saying this kind of rhetoric, goes out here, gets angry about having black pastors showing up in solidarity, supporting this grieving mother, this grieving family that has just lost that has lost their son to something unbelievable by the hands of three white men who basically chased him down just because of the color of his skin. But you literally say, oh, no, I'm sorry, guys. We can't have any more black pastors in the house anymore. We can't do that. No. We got a problem with that. Then when you do your closing arguments, I mean, what the hell? What are you on? What meth are you smoking? It must be some strong ass ish for you to go up here and in your closing arguments, you start to basically call him anything but a child of God. Call him anything but a human. You basically took him back to slavery. He's just property. Why do you have to throw out that detail? What was that detail for? Like, I'm sorry, if they come out with a not guilty on all counts, I don't even know what to say. That whole place is going to erupt. I'm being real honest. They already got dudes out here, black nationalists, suited and booted, ready to go out there in those streets right now. People are angry. They've been seeing this all day long. They have tried to smear this young man because he has a few things, he has a little bit of I can't even think of the words. a rap sheet. Let's just say, if it's even that, right? They've done everything to try to make it seem like this kid is just a full-on criminal. And these pieces of trash, 2 of them on the side right here in this screen, the McMichaels, they did everything they needed to do. Like I said during the Kyle Rittenhouse thing, and I'm going to say right here again, if this is a not guilty verdict, you're basically saying that white people can go run around and take the law into their own hands. Next thing you know, we're going to have a whole bunch of Punishers and Frank Castles out here just killing people because of speculations. They did not have a conversation with this young man. They chased him down and gunned him in point blank range. And then they had the audacity to smear this young man's name, then talk about him like he is nothing when they do their closing arguments. Christmas tree. But like I said, this is some bullshit. And if he is found not guilty, I don't even know what if those 3 are found not guilty on all counts and they walk out scot-free, all I can say is I pray God that the people out there do not rain upon the very foundation of that town, because I'm telling you, it's going to get nasty. David.
Yeah, so I agree with you that this was just a dehumanizing tactic. So the main defense guy right before her, he was the one defending the murder. I believe she's defending the actions of the father of Travis. I forget his name, but so basically they had several rounds of defense for the different charges, but there was one initial round of prosecution. The prosecutor today is responding to their defense, which I watched some of. But what I saw was that basically this was kind of the argument the defense was going for, was that they describe Arbery as a kind of chaotic, unstable person that was in the street. They try to make it seem odd that when people, like they describe one of the trucks coming up, flashing the lights at him and aiming a shotgun, and they say, it's odd he left. Why wouldn't you talk to somebody in that case? It's because they're hunting you, and you should not.
You can say fuck. It's okay. We're already here, man. Like this,
yeah, I mean,
this is the time where we just go off the rails now, because this is some bullshit.
That's they were basically arguing that he was guilty because every time they came up with shotguns and surrounded him with trucks, he didn't want to be there anymore, as you would expect. Anyone doesn't want to be there with people that are hunting them and with shotguns. So they did, I think, throughout this kind of try to paint him as more like a kind of animalistic hobo, is the way I think they try to describe it. And at the same time, this argument was their worst for the defense, in my opinion. They were arguing that Travis and his father, because of their previous training, even though they had never used that training, were able to de-escalate situations like this. And because they had that training, that's exactly what they were doing. And, the defense was arguing that, he never used this and the training was a long time ago, but of course he knows exactly how to do this. And then they go on to be like, oh, and also he lost his pistol a month ago. He didn't remember how to keep that safe. So are we supposed to believe that he's able to follow these procedures he's never followed when he can't even follow the basic procedure of keeping his pistol safe, if it was even stolen in the first place? But that was one of their arguments that I thought was particularly weak. And this is kind of the way I saw their defense playing out in general. They tried to make it seem like the McMichaels were well-trained, knew what they were doing and performing a service, whereas they were describing Arbery in the sense of just kind of being animalistic, unpredictable, and stuff like that, using situations like people chasing him with guns and him running away from that as an incident of him being guilty of something, which obviously makes no sense. But the prosecution is also allowed to lie, but the defense can lie too, as long as they don't misconstrue a law that the other side calls out on. Yeah.
No, go ahead. Continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So this defense, like I said, was more for the father stuff, because they are talking about also the false imprisonment and other issues. And the father was the one that tried to start violence multiple times over the previous incidences. He was, according to Travis anyway, he was the one that picked up the shotguns. Of course, Travis paints himself as a patient saint, even though you can tell from the video that he was not acting in the way he was saying he was acting. But they also had a few more go on after this. None of them were as bad as them. This woman was by far the worst. I do think she was out there for that kind of shock value or something like that, because the rest of the defense lawyers were pretty downspoken, even when they were like painting Arbery in this animalistic light. And of course, her main defense is that as Americans, we're allowed to be where we are, and if someone's harassing us, we can defend ourselves. And that was the main charge. But she also pointed out how they consistently harassed him, how they blocked his movement, which is a form of imprisonment, how they violated the citizens arrest law because it's required that they have direct knowledge, and that means that they saw an actual crime being committed and that they are actually trying to resolve that crime right there. However, their argument was that, however long ago something happened, and so they need to fix it now. That's not how the arrest rule worked. It's gone now, but that's not how it worked in the first place. And on top of that, they basically were not calling the police as they should. They have excuses for why they didn't call the police, but they didn't call them in situations where they should have called them. Basically, they violated the law that they suggested they were following in the first place. So I don't really see them getting away with the murder trial. The rest of the stuff is a little more complex, like the imprisonment and stuff, simply because of the wording of the law, which makes it more technical. And they had a lot of arguments over this. Some of them were this morning. The defense was really pissing the judge off because they tried to go through 5 or so mistrials, or three or four mistrials. I don't think it was 5. But they tried to go through a bunch of mistrials this morning, and the judge was just like, no, no, no. And then the judge was getting mad. And finally, when they were getting ready to start, after getting rid of all the mistrials, the defense was like, well, we need a long break to go to the bathroom now. And I'm pretty sure the judge is on the edge of losing his crap at the defense, because they are, I think everyone saw this particular, the one you just showed, as a really bad form of defense. The courts were shocked. The people in the court were shocked.
You heard them. You heard them
Yeah.
go, wow. Like it hit, and it hit hard. And the fact that that came out of that person's mouth, like, and the fact that they thought that would be a good piece to put in there. They made him sound like a silverback gorilla, for crying out loud. They made him less than human. Real quick, I got something to say, but I need to throw this up. Lanikia McLeod, thank you so much for becoming a member. Thank you so much for becoming a member. It really means a lot. Every little bit helps this channel, so thank you so much. There was something else I wanted to throw up here that is very, very true. Lady Justice, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Christmas tree all the way. This one really just grinds my gears because here it is, y'all. Okay, so when we broke the story a while back, I mean, this is before you were around, David. I think you were just somebody in the chat. This happened a year ago, for crying out loud. I remember busting out crying, right? I was really this story really moved me because I just never thought that this would be. You never think something would be real until it actually does happen. And then you realize, no, this is something that happens all the time. We just don't hear about it. It's just not caught on film, caught on camera. Now we live in a time where all these kinds of atrocities are being filmed on a daily basis. Every second, World Star or Reddit or Twitter is being filled with countless hours, countless seconds of content that shows real life social injustices like what happened to Ahmaud Arbery. Luckily, a lot of these people do get to walk away from it alive, but still the social injustices that do happen in this world are being caught every second of every single day. And I'm thankful for that, because we need to see the harsh realities of this world. But the one thing that really does frustrate me, the one thing that really aggravates me, is when you go into court. You think that the system is just and colorblind. Well, let me show you something. What did we just see seconds ago, minutes ago? Can you tell me that the justice system is colorblind and is fully just? Do you think she is balanced 110%? You have defense attorneys having the audacity to get up on a microphone where you know for a fact that millions of people are watching this trial right now, and they have the audacity to sit there and call this kid everything else except for a child of God. They are literally trying to make this child come off like he was an animal, like a ravenous dog that they had to put down in the middle of the damn street. That's exactly what we're seeing right here. The fact that they're getting away with this inside of this court is beyond me. And I pray to God that those jurors are watching this and they're seeing through the BS, or they're catching them on their BS. That kind of comments, these comments that we've been seeing from the defense, shows how extremely racist that area, that defense really is. It breaks my heart because they're allowing that kind of rhetoric in that courtroom. This is a young man that died, that didn't need to die. You know, those men could have easily pulled up and had a conversation with this young man, but they didn't. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again right now. If it wasn't for the color of his skin, those results, this end result would not have been here. We would not be in this courtroom. If this was just a white kid named Chad that just walked through, they would have just thought that he was an interested customer. But because he's black and he's looking around, suddenly they think he's stealing. But instead of them just pulling up and saying, hey, son, you know, what's going on? No, they chase this young man down. They ram him with their truck. And then they shoot him point blank range with a rifle in the chest. Like I said, I'm so sick and tired of seeing things like this pop off. I'm so sick and tired of racist ass people getting away with saying whatever they want to say. This person should be disbarred for the things that are coming out of her mouth, the things that are coming out of the other defense attorney's mouth as well. As soon as this case is over and they are found guilty, it's like, I don't give a damn. I don't really give a damn about the false imprisonment ish. Bury him under the prison. Find them guilty on murder. Find them guilty on those other counts, the harsher counts. I don't care. Doesn't matter. They'll still be in prison for as long as they live. Real talk. Bury them under the prison. But as soon as they get their guilty verdicts, both defense attorneys should be disbarred. That's what I think. Because you're supposed to be out there protecting the law. And the law is supposed to be colorblind. Not the other way around. Anyway, guys, that is the show. Christmas tree. Like I'm so emotional about this because real talk. Imagine if this was your own son. Imagine if this was your brother, your sister, your a loved one, and they were just randomly running down doing a run, just running down the street, doing their thing. Suddenly they're gone because three men just wanted to take it into their hands to be vigilantes. If they are found not guilty, once again, this will prove without a shadow of a doubt that America embraces vigilantism, that the law embraces it, that it's okay to run down and gun down a man because of your own suspicions. An unarmed man with no goods on his hands. He didn't have a hammer. He didn't even have a nail nor a screw from that construction site. He had nothing. And he was still gunned down like a dog. in the middle of the street. Please bury these guys under the prison. Please make them an example of how America really does the justice system. Please, I pray to God that they find these men guilty on all counts. But anyway, I'm done. That is the show today. Christmas tree. Oh, I love you guys. You guys are incredible. I appreciate you guys coming on, but that I've been sitting on that for a while. And the thing is I put this on Twitter. So follow me on Twitter, Pascal Show, one word. But I even said it in my post when I retweeted the video. I don't really curse that much. I don't even curse on my Twitter, in my twits. But I had to curse because there was no other word. There was no other way to express. Like, I was like, do my ears and my eyes deceive me? Are we back in the 1940s up in this piece? Unbelievable, y'all. David, I appreciate you being on, my brother. Thank you so much. You're incredible.
It's a great discussion today.
Hell
Unfortunate news, though.
Hell yeah. Well, hopefully it'll be triumphant news, because maybe by them showing they ass like that will sway the jury. Just a little bit. I hope. Because, I mean, I feel like they shot themselves in the foot. That's what I think, too. So, fingers crossed. Toes crossed. My long-ass toes crossed, too. All right? And no, I'm not wearing socks today either. And my feet are sweating like a mug right now. It's a bad idea. Don't do that. Don't do it. Your feet will get swampy. Anyway, David, thank you so much for being on. Everybody, thank y'all for being on. I appreciate all y'all. If you haven't done it yet, please do me that solid. If you're feeling what I'm feeling, hit that like button down below. Do not forget to do that. Send those likes all the way up. I'd love to see it go past 200 likes before we go. And of course, please crush that subscribe button. All right. Be really great to have you a part of the Pascal Show family. And of course, we're going to keep a close eye on this trial. I know David is, and I am as well. So we are going to try to see what happens. Apparently, the jury's supposed to be going in for deliberations here very, very soon. So, or I don't know if it's already happened. Maybe it has, David? Has it?
No. Well, when we started, she was still responding to the defense, because that's an option of the prosecutor to respond to the defense, and she chose to because of stuff like that. We just saw
that ish that came out her mouth.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how we'll have to see how she crawls herself out of that hole that she made for herself. But anyway, guys, I appreciate you all for being on. Don't forget to hit that like button down below. Don't forget to do something positive for somebody today. I think we need that today. And of course, Thanksgiving's around the corner. I don't know if I'm doing a show tomorrow morning or not. I will let you guys know in Discord and in the community page. So just keep an eye out for that, because tomorrow is hectic, I feel like, for everybody. Yeah. Okay? So anyway, it is time to get going. All right? Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys very, very soon. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.
You're going to perform tonight. I can't make this interview boring, because this man is too exciting as a host. And I'm truly saying this, and if y'all can't do this, me and this man here is going to leave and go somewhere else where we can get some love. I want everyone in the building to say, I love Pascal on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Wow.
Homeowners and property managers, if you're looking for effective and humane ways to remove wild animals and deal with the damage that they have caused, we have good news for you. Introducing Wildlife Command Center. We are the only wildlife company that checks 70 different areas on a structure to determine the answers to the following questions. For more information, call us now.
Live it up, live it up, live it up.
The Fur and Leather Center, providing the highest of fur and leather goods.